This is Rough Stuff Podcast number 12. I'm Garett, Rough Stuff CEO. I've got Mallory, Rough Stuff CFO here.
Hello.
Zack, Rough Stuff President.
Hello.
And our fan favorite guest, Stuart Nelson with Point West Insurance.
Hey there.
What's up?
Hi. We did hear that from a few people that, Stuart, you were some of their favorite podcasts.
Yeah, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
You should feel good.
I like
Stuart.
people.
I mean, I feel like you're already
Especially those
confident,
people.
so we don't want to blow up your head anymore.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the podcast.
So today we're going to discuss all things Bronco
Yay.
Yeah.
because the new Bronco's out.
Yeah,
Coming
so
out.
the 2021 Bronco from Ford was just released. The much anticipated release after, 3-4 years of it being
3
talked
years,
about.
yeah.
And definitely had to bring Stuart out for this one because Stuart is a Bronco enthusiast.
Gen 1.
Gen 1. Gen 1 Bronco enthusiast.
However, he put his reservation on the 2021
I did.
already.
Yeah.
I called you the day that it was released about insurance things, and I said, well, we're on the phone. Have you seen it? What do you think? Oh, I already put, my reservation. Of course
Yeah,
you
let's
did.
not talk about insurance. Let's talk about Bronco that
Yeah.
I just reserved.
So why don't you tell us the one that you put your reservation in on?
Well, after about half an hour of trying to get the first edition one, which I have a feeling just went to dealers and Roush people, stuff like that, and I didn't get one of those 3500s, I got a Wild Track.
Cool. And you
So-
got orange, right?
I did.
Two-door.
It did let you pick a color. I'm not really sure how far along, because it's just a reservation, and you put $100 down, you get it back if you don't get it. But basically, they've already sent me an email. You pick a dealer, and so then you get to go through and build your Bronco, and then they'll deliver it in early 2021 or early to mid. They said
So a year from
Awesome.
now, roughly.
pretty much, yeah.
So you got a two-door orange.
Two-door orange.
Are they calling it orange?
No, it was cyber orange, and
Oh,
it's an
of
orange
course.
metallic.
Yeah.
So
It's almost like a little copper. It's like an orange copper kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's still like a bright orange, which is cool because my 74 is orange, so that's
Yeah.
why I wanted the orange, kind of the new and the old.
Yours is the original orange and cream, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is,
Cool.
is the one you're getting a two-tone?
No,
Oh,
it's
all
all
one color.
orange. Yeah. It did. The Wild Track does come with some graphics on it. Supposedly, I haven't really
Oh.
seen exactly what they look like, but it's just like hood graphics.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. So, really quickly, I pulled this from the website, and it just says the first edition Bronco is built for those who have waited patiently for the legend's return to the wilderness. Oh.
I waited patiently. I didn't get one.
It says the first edition is a unique grouping of all the best each Bronco offers to create an ultimate fully loaded Bronco. So if you happen to see one taking on the wild in some far off adventure, it's okay to feel a touch of envy and regret.
And
I
I'm really
think it's,
churching that one up.
yeah, I think it's really funny and also just different how they really, really make it like wild, and I noticed that on the website, like the marketing is really geared toward the animal and the outdoors and the wilderness. I know that they really are good at creating an experience.
Yeah,
Did you watch the 11-minute trailer?
I did.
So did I.
And then all 3 commercials that they came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched them all.
Me too.
It was cool. I felt like it was a little bit repetitive, but I mean, they hammered it home.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, definitely got me excited.
Yeah.
Really good at keeping it under wraps. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
nothing really leaked until that was legitimate.
Yeah.
It seems like until maybe a month or two ago, and there were some pictures
Yeah.
of the gray 4-door.
I saw that,
Yeah,
yeah.
they looks like those
Who-
were.
great.
Who leaked that? Do you know?
I don't remember.
They had some
think I s-
NDAs probably
Yeah.
4 years ago for that staff.
Motor Trend guys are pretty good at getting their hands on that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the only one. I mean, keeping it under wraps as long as they did, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Do you think the people who want the information soonest show up with a suitcase full of cash or Bronco parts?
Both.
But cash and Bronco parts for
Cash
the bribe.
and Bronco parts.
Yeah. So let's get into all of the options. There are 7 different options. There's the base, the Big Bend, the Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, and First Edition. And it looks like the First Edition was the one that went the fastest, right?
Went quick.
Yeah, they only
Yeah.
made 3,500 of them, or they're
Oh.
or only going to make 3,500.
Yeah.
So apparently they were gone in the first 15 minutes. I kept trying to get one, and I don't know if it was my internet connection or what, but we had 3 of us trying to get on there and get one.
Mm-hmm.
And after 15 minutes, they were all gone.
Is this what you put your staff up to?
Yeah, that's what they should do.
It could have been like their website server was overloaded.
I think that's what it was.
That can happen, yeah.
Yeah, it just kept circling and circling. It wouldn't let me in, wouldn't let me get it. And then finally, somebody got through, but they said, oh, the first edition was taken. So
Yeah.
I had a team on it. And I got a wild track. I go, just get me the top of the line. I don't care, whatever I can get. So
Yeah, I wonder what the resale value once those come out. If there's only 3,500, if they come out next spring, you know how people were selling toilet paper on eBay for like Lysol wipes are like $90.
Somebody will resell it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
wonder
yeah.
what the markup value will be.
I bet quite a bit. I bet people are gonna take whatever they can. What is it, like a $59,000 investment or something? I bet people will probably crank that up quite a bit.
That's
funny.
You just can't get them.
Some of them had prices on the website that day, like where they were starting, depending on, obviously if you're getting 2-door, 4-door. But the first edition, I didn't see a price on it. But the Wild Peak, I think or the Wild Track, was one of the ones I think that had that. And it said starting at 59 for that one. So that the first edition one had to be
Probably even
north
higher
of
than
that.
Yeah.
So figure
Dang.
at
And
least.
the base starts at 28 roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think somewhere around there, which is not bad for what you're getting.
So tell us why you picked the Wild Track. Did you pick it just because you couldn't get a first edition and it was the next best
It was
in
the
line?
next one. And I was really looking at the Badlands only because, the Badlands is supposed to be more of a rock crawling edition versus the Wild Track is supposed to be more of your high-speed desert
Right.
edition. But when I was looking at the options, it seemed like the Wild Track had a little bit more than the Badlands. You can see on their list, it's 10-speed automatic transmission if you go for the auto. And if you get the bigger EcoBoost engine, the 2.7, you have to get automatic transmission. They're not doing the manual with that one for some reason. But it seemed to have all the stuff that the first edition had for the most part, and then what it doesn't have, you can add through like the Lux package and leather and things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas the first edition, they're just throwing everything at it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that it doesn't have that they don't offer.
Do you think you're going to go for upgrading package? Because even, the mid package is coming with power outlets, all kinds of additional lighting, dual zone climate control, bunch of fancy stuff. All the safety nannies, things like that. Do you think you'd up the package or just kind of
I was looking at the Lux or the Sasquatch package.
Yeah.
But, because they just keep adding stuff to it, like beadlock wheels.
Well, I think your Wild Track actually will come with the Sasquatch right out of the gate.
It says Sasquatch
Oh, yeah, it does say
package
that,
with
yeah.
35-inch tires. They both, first edition and Wild Track, have that.
Which that's
What's the
pretty
Sasquatch?
sweet. Well, that's, I don't
You
know.
don't know
That's
who
the,
Sasquatch is?
No,
Garrett?
what's the Sasquatch package? Yeah.
It's got you got 35s, you got beadlock capable wheels. You get lock and diffs front and rear with 4.7 gears, which is pretty awesome out of factory vehicle. I'm not sure what they're meaning by high clearance suspension, whether it's more arched A-arms or, maybe like a slightly taller strut or coilover or whatever, but
something with that.
and then position sensitive Bilstein shock absorbers and sweet high clearance fenders.
Yeah, so those shock absorbers supposedly are computer controlled. So as you're going from, say, like a King of the Hammers type, now obviously you're not going to race this thing unless it's upgraded, but they're saying from like a rock crawling terrain to then high-speed desert, the shocks will automatically adjust for the terrain.
I saw that in the video. Yeah.
So that's part of the Haas system that they're talking
Yeah,
about?
that's kind of what
Gotcha.
they were talking about. So I'm sure those will be really cheap to fix too.
So
Yeah.
before we dive too much in all of the models, I want to quickly, I'm sure everybody's looked at it already, but for those who haven't, the base is just the Essential Bronco. That's what they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Bend is for mainstream off-roading. Black Diamond is adventure off-roading. Outer Banks is off-roading in style. I just like the way they put that. Badlands is extreme off-roading. Wild Track, the one you got, is for high-speed off-roading, which makes sense because you like to go fast. And First Edition is built for those who have waited patiently for Bronco's return to the wild. Oh.
I guess you weren't patient enough.
See,
Yeah.
that's me. That's me. I'm just
know.
mad that they didn't let me in.
Don't worry, you can buy
I
one
didn't
for
get
$120,000
Yeah,
next
after
summer.
the fact, and some guy,
You can bid
some
on it
dealer
on
that
eBay.
got it, and then he doubles the cost
Totally.
Yeah, for
to
real.
sell it.
So, kind of just going through these, the base, it says only the absolute essentials, standard 4x4, easy to remove doors and roof, and then available is the Sasquatch package. Do you guys have
Yeah.
any other information about the base?
Well, it's still coming with Sync 4 which like I got a F-150 that's I think Sync 2.
Yeah.
And it's pretty nice. You pretty much hit the button, yell at it, and it does stuff. What's not to like?
Yeah, they were just saying that it came with I thought they said Sync 3. To get the Sync 4, you had to go to the top, but I don't see it.
I think mine has Sync 2. My truck, my F-150 has Sync 2, and it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, it works super good. But yeah, you still be able to take all the doors off, whatnot. You got the GOAT mode, which I actually looked that up, and that was the kind of back in the 60s, the code name for the project for the original Broncos, go over any terrain or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And so they're kind of bringing that back, which is pretty sweet. And that one comes factory, as the stock option with the 7-speed with the granny gear.
Yeah.
Which now they're calling a crawl gear.
Granny gear. That's cute.
And then, 2.3 liter, which 2.3 liter, it's not the top of the line motor, but it still comes with, 270 horsepower and 310 foot-pounds of torque, which it's got to weigh not much more than 2,000 pounds.
Well, and people are saying, why did they do a V8? But if you look back at the old 302, when they came out with that in the Bronco, it only had like 270 horsepower.
And pinning it out.
I think that's more probably a Fox body 302, has the 270. So, for that little engine to have that much horsepower and torque, it's...
And some back in the day came with 355s or maybe 410s, in the diffs. But, you got 4.7s, if you did go with the Sasquatch package.
Well, you were talking about the crawl ratio, Zach, and so I was reading on that manual trans. If you get the manual trans, it's like 93-1 crawl ratio, granny gear.
Brutal. That's awesome.
So that's really low. That's just factory.
Oh, I found it here.
Changes.
94.75.
There you go.
That's pretty savage. That's awesome.
And if you get the 10-speed auto, it was like 63 point something or whatever to 1, which is still respectable. And
you get that out of a base trim model. You're not throwing a $50,000 check down to go get your Rubicon or go get your top of the line vehicle.
Especially if you're going to mod the thing and you're just going to tear off all that expensive stuff anyway and throw it in the back of the garage and put all aftermarket stuff on it, because aftermarket support's going to blow up for this. At least I'm hoping.
I think so, yeah. The motor I'm really excited for is the bigger option, the 2.7 twin turbo EcoBoost. Mm-hmm. Sporting 310 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. And those are actually options in the F-150s nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be a pretty good motor for a pickup truck, so you get a tiny little SUV. That's going to be pretty quick, I think.
Yeah. Especially in the two-door.
Yeah.
That much lighter.
But I think those are only available with the 10-speed automatic, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Which honestly, as I'm getting older, I'm really into automatics.
Is yours going to be a
agree.
2-door or 4-door?
2-door.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought about the 4-door.
He doesn't have young kids. He doesn't have to worry. It's not a grocery kid.
I just was curious, maybe you wanted a longer wheelbase or something. Or...
Well, I was thinking about that, but it was something about having the 2-door just looked sporty.
Yeah.
And kind of having the newer version of my 74, having both of those. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'll get a 4-door to go with it.
Oh my
the
God.
2-door really does look like the old school.
I totally agree.
First
I think
generation,
the 2-door, it kind of reminds me of the 2-door JK and the 4-door JK. The 4-door JK just looks a little like the Jeep JK.
Oh, I haven't heard of those.
The 4-door is a little if it doesn't have all the right lift and tires and stuff, it's a little family oriented looking. But the 2-door makes you look single and like you have nothing holding you back.
Ready to party.
Yeah.
You want to go to India, Garrett? Go to India. So
that sounded personal.
It's actually from Knocked Up, but
great film.
Yeah, I like definitely the 2-door.
Yeah.
You go with the 2-door and you're looking at the Sasquatch package. It's pretty turnkey for your kind of I guess you call it big parentheses the beater one. If you just want the fun wheeling stuff right out of the gate. I bet you're probably looking at 35. Maybe 37 grand, out the door. I would guess, with some of these basic options.
And I was looking last night, and I ran into something online that I didn't know they had, but they actually have a rock crawling mode, and I forget which package it comes with. It might be the Sasquatch package, but basically it sets, I guess, the way it sounded idle speed for rock crawling, and terrain sensing for if it grabs the wheel or something, you hit a rock and it kind of grabs your steering, that type of thing. It's got some sort of system in place.
I think
that helps.
I think some of the Toyota Tacomas come with something kind of similar to that now, a crawl mode or something, and it's kind of, they call it off-road cruise control, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just kind of keeps keeps idling forward, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what axle is in the rear?
I actually just looked it up.
Dana.
Yeah, it's a Dana 44. New generation Dana 44.
Something
They
track.
call it Advantech.
Advantech, that's what it was.
And then with the e-locker, the Ford brand e-locker from Spicer brand e-locker. And then the front is a Dana Advantech independent, which a lot of people were bummed that it didn't have a solid front axle.
Yeah.
And I get it, it would be nice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, IFS has come a long way, and for something that's, most likely going to be quite the daily driver for most people compared to like a wheeler,
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I remember people were like, they better have a solid axle or I'm not buying it. And I remember things like, you're probably not buying it then because it's definitely not coming with anything but IFS.
Well, I think with the aftermarket support at some point, you're going to have those suspension options. And I just know with the F-150, I got a lift kit on it, but it rides like factory because basically just moved all that stuff down. And of course, I don't take it off road of any sort, like I do with the Bronco. So I don't have to worry about, as much ground clearance and that type of thing, but it still drives like factory.
Yeah.
And if you take a Wrangler or even the old Bronco and you lift them and, you start changing the caster a little bit and then they start to wander and you have all these issues and they have all those issues with the Wrangler, when you do that with a solid axle and you put that big lift on it, even with long arms and things like that, you're still chasing a lot of those issues.
Yeah, you may have more options, but at the end of the day, you can also kind of screw yourself up more and more.
Yeah.
So are those diffs, across all packages?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so that's like what they just come with.
How they come.
That's kind of been
lockers
Ford's MO lately, is where they kind of stick with one kind of drivetrain setup for a lot of different vehicles nowadays, F-150, you can get the new generation of the Super 8.8, but most of them come with the 975,
Yeah.
Are they
Most of the Super E's still come with the Sterling.
Are they doing like e-lockers on these things? Or
Yeah.
air locker?
It's an e-locker.
I think it's e-locker.
That comes on the Sasquatch package, which I guess a lot of these come
Looks
factory
like-
with the Sasquatch on the
yeah.
higher trim levels, it looks like. Which I guess makes sense. You spend the money, might as well get all the cool stuff with it.
Right.
But it looks like it's an optional package across the board, which is pretty cool.
Let's talk about the Big Bend, which is the second level. It says create comfort along with your standard Bronco features. So, that leather wrap steering wheel. Heated front seats. That is a absolute must-have for me, not for Garrett. Every time we get in his car and it's cold, I look around and I'm like, where's the heated seats? Aluminum wheels, remote start. With 10-speed automatic only. I also love a remote start. I'm a convenience kind of girl.
Yeah, it ain't bad, that's for sure.
Yeah, so it has a lot of the same things that for the base, standard powertrain, available powertrain. The standard package has a little bit more. It has privacy glass. I'm guessing that's a fancy word for tinted.
Yep. No, actually, it's curtains.
You're lying. You caught me for a second.
Mini blinds.
Mini blinds. It also comes with the Sasquatch package, and then it has the mid package.
The Big Bend?
Yeah, it says right here, mild package. I'm guessing you
that's-
added on.
Yeah, it's
Or I'm sorry,
available.
mid package.
Yeah.
Oh, those are available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Optional.
Yeah,
Optional,
just like the Sasquatch package.
Yeah, mid-package has a lot of nice options, too, for being, just the one step up.
Yeah. Like I said, heated front seats, 2-door intelligent access, Sync 4 with the enhanced voice recognition, and Ford Copilot 360. Cross-traffic alert, lane keeping system, auto high beam headlamps, and rear view camera with backup assist grid lines. They're definitely not skipping any of those luxury things that I look for in a car.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
One thing that I
Appeals to
think
the
could be kind of
ladies.
cool is their heavy-duty modular front bumper that they've been talking a little bit
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Seems like you
Yeah.
can kind of swap the wings out, things like that. I'm expecting it to have options for winches, things like that. I know Ford is really going hard on the accessory game
Yeah.
to compete with brands like us and other companies out there, make their bread and butter and livelihoods on things like this, which is kind of cool because friendly competition always great, especially from the big company itself.
Yeah.
But I've seen pictures of winches, I've seen pictures of different lights, different kits you can throw on there, finance it all, whatever.
I think it makes it easier for design too, like on our end, because if they already have these those heavy duty the bash plates or whatever they're calling them, like I think the rock rails.
Yeah.
You know, there's already going to be mounts for that kind of stuff, so we could just make an aftermarket one that looks better, or is stronger than theirs.
Yeah, instead of going through a pinch seam, it's probably mounted to the frame, I'm guessing.
Because they're going to be thinking a lot about efficiency too, so they're not going to make it as thick as we would.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is too, if I looked at their rock rails, and they're more like the Wrangler Rubicon rock skis, and they protect the rocker, but they don't stick out.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, when you're rock crawling, really, it's nice to have outriggers to kind of push you away from the rock rather than just protect the rocker from it.
especially
Have a
towards that
couple
back
inches.
wheel and on that longer
Yeah.
wheelbase too, because the short wheelbase is a lot less risk, like that you don't need to be pushed away so far, but on,
Right.
on that long wheelbase, you really start dragging that rear.
Yeah, so you
rear
can
ass
pivot around something. And I know on my Bronco, they've saved me a bunch of times just keeping the rocks off your quarter panel or something. So, and on these vehicles, with the Jeep, you got the fenders that stick out, and a lot of the aftermarket fenders are strong enough that you can actually rub up against the rocks and keep the tub off of a rock. But, and obviously these have the fenders that stick out, but the Gen 1 Bronco, you don't really have anything like that, so you've got to keep the rocks off your panels, which I haven't done. And but nobody can see it on this podcast, so it doesn't matter. But anyhow, so putting all those on there would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of keep the sides off the rocks, especially if you're going to get the $70,000 one. Plus, they just look cool, and it gives you a step.
Yeah.
So Garrett, when you buy yours, Mallory can step up
think
inside there
Mallory
very
might get
easily.
one.
Stuart, what if it's the wrong step for the dress shoe you're wearing that day? Because I know you had that issue before.
Yes, yeah. Well,
And you gave Garrett your side steps.
Yes. Was it very slippery?
Well, we thank you for that hand-me-down.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Let's talk about the Black Diamond. So they have these little unique custom logos for each one, and the Black Diamond has a mountain with snow on the top, and that's exactly what I thought when I thought Black Diamond. It's the ski, it's the snowboard slope that I can't go down. But they say adventure off-roading, so I assume they're talking.
Or if you're my
more
age, it's skiing.
skiing. Yeah, skiing's coming back.
2 sticks.
I think skiing's
Yeah.
coming. French fry pizza. I feel
know.
you. So it's next level outdoor adventure,
I'm coming
complete
back.
with washout interior, which Zack came, running down the hall to tell me about the day that it got released. He was like, "You can hose out the whole thing."
hose the whole
Yeah,
damn
which I
thing
think
out.
is really cool. I totally agree. I think that when you get to snow, what comes with snow? Mud.
Yeah.
Wet, sleet, crappy. It sucks. And so, I think that is definitely a thoughtful, cool feature that people are going to be looking for in Tahoe, Truckee. They're going to be looking for that. So it has the rear locking differential, steel front and rear bumpers, 7 goat modes, goes over any type of terrain, and heavy duty bash plates. So that's just the basics. What do you
The
guys
other
think?
cool thing they did was, so they did the interior, they put drain plugs too.
Yeah,
So you
like
can wash
I
it
was
out.
wondering that when
Yeah.
when Zack told me about it, I looked into it because I don't believe in the 11-minute video that I saw anything about the hosing out. So
Saw
I was
some pictures of it, but yeah, it
you
wasn't in
did.
the video.
I was
I'm not
wondering
sure, yeah,
about
they
that.
put it in the video, but I read it where they put drain plugs in the floor so you can
Yeah.
rinse it out.
Yeah. Which that's like a nice option.
That
Even
is,
our,
yeah.
97 TJ, it's so nice to be able to spray it out.
Yeah.
So are the seats leather then, and you just spray over the leather, or how does it work with your interior? Because I know the base and the big bend were cloth seats, and it says the Black Diamond.
There was something
Oh,
in
it's
there about
marine
that.
grade vinyl seats.
Yeah.
They've thought of everything.
See?
I
It's a boat
mean,
on wheels.
What does that feel like? Marine grade vinyl on like a hot, sweaty day in a pair of shorts. What do your thighs
I've
feel
spent
like?
some time in the back of some cool boats, and it's pretty nice.
It's not that
Not
bad?
bad at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to think of what my thighs will and won't stick
It's
to.
probably just like less porous that way, like the water can't seep through. I guess
It's more
right?
smooth.
Yeah.
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 It's the same you'd get on a wake boat or pontoon boat.
So the standard powertrain, available powertrain are the same as the last 2 models. And then the standard package has the 7-goat, 17-inch black painted steel wheels, 32-inch all-terrain tires, heavy-duty modular front bumper, powder-coated steel rear, rock rails, and heavy-duty bash plates, which we just talked about. Auxiliary switches in overhead console. I don't know why that
Those
would
are like
be
the
like
upfitter
a,
switches
That's
they
really
put in
nice.
the trucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
So you can add accessories and it's
Pre-wired.
pre-wired.
Yeah.
It's so much
nice.
easier just to be able to plug in and play. I mean, that's something that I know across the board on a lot of Ford vehicles. Everything's a lot more plug and play. Like literally unplug something, add what you want, keep going. I know Garett put a remote start kit in his truck in like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
didn't you
Not
also,
bad.
Was that this truck or your last truck that you added a new monitor to? Is that your last truck?
It was it was my F350 there. I
Oh,
did that
okay.
too. But this one, same thing. I can update from Sync 2 to Sync 4, I think it is, or Sync 3
Yeah.
with the big monitor that you have and Zack has. And I think it's like $1,500 or $1,800 versus paying from the dealership
Right.
like for that package.
I
that you
think
pay
the
for.
Plus
remote
interest.
start was just a couple $100 on Amazon, right? Or did you get it from here?
No, I got it on like 12voltsystems.com, I think.
Oh, okay. Compared to what you have
Which
to
is
pay
also
for
an
the
awesome company.
Yeah, what you have to pay though for the entire package from the dealer is a lot.
Yeah, and it's just and the nice thing about that remote start where you don't have to get like another key fob, so you just do lock, unlock,
Yeah.
lock, and it doesn't honk and it starts your truck, and then you can do the same. Yeah, you hit the same buttons again and it turns it off.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's $200.
Who had that?
12voltsystems.com.
I thought we were going to carry remote start packages. Did we never do that?
We've been looking into it. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a company we've been working with. I actually cannot remember the name of them, but has some cool options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Tacoma,
think it's
Jeep,
N2
things like that.
or something like that.
N2
A
design.
lot of
or
them come
something
with the
like that.
push button start too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if you have
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
have an older vehicle with a key start, you can change over to push button.
Garrett has not an older vehicle and has to use a key, and it's very foreign
Yeah,
to me.
I missed I had the Infinity before, and I missed the key fob where you
Yeah.
don't have to actually put the
Yeah.
key in the ignition. You just
Yep.
get
Just
in the
have it in your
truck
pocket.
and and then same thing. There was a button on the outside of the door where you just push the button to unlock it.
That's really good when you're trying to be a gentleman to your wife and you like drop her off at the front door and she has the key in her purse and then she gets out and goes in and you go to park and then you
Can't do anything.
can't turn
Yeah.
anything
Our
off. You
co-
can't lock
well,
the door.
I have an Infinity 2 and it beeps when
That's
the key
never
walks
happened
away. It lets you know when the key's walking away. So, what else does this have? I mean, I think we pretty much covered it. So I think it's just going to be your ideal mountain, heading up into...
Same optional packages, the Sasquatch and the Mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be great for those who like to go snow wheeling, which I hate. Go back and listen to podcast number like 2 or 3, and I'll tell you about it. It's too dangerous for me.
You just don't like driving there in the truck and trailer.
I don't know. It's just dangerous. I don't like sliding and not having any control. So the next one is the Outer Banks, and they are marketing the Outer Banks as the trim that puts off-road style and tech front and center. So we're getting it's like a little bougier.
Yeah, I think maybe a lot more bougier. People who do quite a bit of wheeling will know sometimes you don't want all the tech. Sometimes you don't want everything. But some of these options look pretty awesome. It's got the GOAT modes. I think it has the optional Haas system, if I remember correctly.
They're marketing it as just off-roading in style.
This is your new mall crawler, except for there's no malls to crawl anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking that earlier, the mall crawler. It's 18-inch bright black high gloss painted aluminum alloy wheels, LED headlamps and tail lamps, optional 12-inch LCD touchscreen, and available B&O sound system. So for sure, your mall crawler.
What's B&O?
I think it's probably a manufacturer of sound system.
Body odor.
Maybe it's
So what is
Bose
it?
or
Bang and Olufsen.
I was gonna say that. I only know that from a movie where they have like a Bang & Olufsen phone, and it's like a big horn. It's very weird. I think they're pretty modern. I think it's like a modern.
I think they're pretty expensive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know what
think-
it is. None of us have one.
I
of
think the
Bang &
phone
Olufsen
was like
systems.
$1,600.
I had a rental truck a couple months ago that was a Platinum F-150, all luxuried out, and it had the B&O sound system, and it was pretty impressive.
Yeah?
For what it was. Yeah.
Were you bumping some Electric Wizard?
Oh, so loud. Just bumping.
Cool. So this now I'm kind of like obsessed with these tiny little logos that describe each one. This logo is kind of like
There's
a
a lot.
whoosh, and I think
Whoosh.
that's just to get people excited. It's just like a road bending, I almost think.
Yeah, one cool thing is it has the body-colored exterior door handles, mirror caps, fender flares. I'm all about that. I like the kind of color match stuff.
Matchy matchy.
Kind of looks like a wave.
That's
the
right,
logo.
but it also looks like a road because see the split down the middle and it's going. I think it's a road bending, But yeah, I thought it looked like a Wave too. This one also has the Luxe package. This is something that the other three don't offer as an available package yet. So the Luxe package is high package content plus adaptive cruise control, the Bang & Olufsen sound system with 10 speakers. Your ears will bleed, including a subwoofer, evasive steering assist.
See, that's what I'm interested in. Is that like really
Evasive steering.
steering system? Do you want that in something that you're going to take off road? I don't know if I'd
sure
get
it's
into
gotta-
that. It's got to have a disable mode or
Yeah,
something. You can click
disable
it
it.
off.
Just like the traction control, you can disable on most cars.
Or maybe it's set at like a certain speed or something.
Totally.
Like some sort of, I don't know, default setting in there.
Yeah.
This has the heated steering wheel, universal garage door opener. I mean, if anything doesn't have that by now, come on. 2 additional front row smart charging USB ports, voice activated touchscreen, navigation system, and wireless charging pad, which you guys have the wireless charging pad, right?
I don't have that, but on the
I think you do.
on that rental truck I had.
You don't have it in your Ford, the one where you set your phone in the console?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
I don't have that either.
I think that's on the upper end.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it's in?
Platinum.
It's in the Chevy Tahoes. That's what it's in. I saw it in my friends. You set it in. You just set your phone in the console, and it's a
This
charging
is a
pad.
Ford show today.
Sorry, guys. But those are pretty cool. My mistake. It's another rich friend I have. Sorry.
Yeah, I had a hard time with the heated steering wheel once in that rental truck. I couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
Oh no.
My whole commute down.
So you just let go of the steering wheel?
It got hot.
Really?
Yeah. There was a minute where I was about to take my socks off from my hands. It was pretty warm. And yeah, I had to go through like 10 menus. There's got to be an easier way, but I had to go through 10 menus
There's
to
no
turn it
At
off.
least it was
Switch?
only your socks.
There probably is, but there was a lot going on in that truck.
That's annoying.
I mean, it had the air conditioned seat. It had a lot of stuff that I wasn't used to. It kinda threw
We
me
test
off.
drove a car with air conditioned seats not that long ago, and I couldn't feel anything. And we asked the sales guy, and he was like, "Yeah, it's more just like something people feel mentally is there.
Yeah, I think it's like it's not
It's
like
just air, right?
Yeah, I think it just I don't think it like if the seats are super hot, I don't think it actually cools them down as fast as like the vents would be blowing on you. I think it just
Yeah.
maintains like a nice coolness.
It does
It's
keep
more
you
like
from
climate
getting
control.
sticky. I had them before.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to think what car it was, but they worked really good.
The one
And
we
it's
were
like,
in.
especially on a long road trip, your seat's not getting hot.
Becoming the one with the seat.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what else do you guys think about this Badlands package? Or I'm sorry, Outer Banks. My bad.
It's gonna be pretty cool. It comes factory with the mid package, which is we kind of touched on that. It's pretty decked out. But even the high package, I mean, you get the big touch screen, which I'm sure people have seen the photos of that. It's pretty extravagant how big the screen actually is.
Is it like Tesla
Yeah.
size? It's like an iPad.
It seems like it when you
It's
look
pretty
at it. It's
close.
pretty big.
It says-
It's
I think it-
12.1 inches.
It's 12.1. I thought
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
8.
that's huge.
No,
No,
there
8
is.
is the factory, or I'm sorry,
Eight's the
the
small one.
standard.
Oh, okay.
Is that an oh shit handle?
Yes, it is.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh.
For the passenger.
I like all the different trim. They really made it stylish with the yellow and the brown.
So the handle's like next to the like the shifter center console.
So
Yeah,
here's
now
some-
that's for the passenger. I
Here's
believe.
something I saw that I read. You see that on the hood, those little like things right up on, or not even on the hood, they're on the front of the fenders. You see those
Yeah.
little things?
Yeah.
So I was reading something about those, and it said it was back to the Gen 1 Bronco. Okay, I got one. They don't have those on them. And it was to attach like tie down points for something, maybe for the roof. But also they use them, you're supposed to use them like gun sights. And I'm like, what would you use those for though? I mean, I think they look cool, and if you're, I guess, taking a branch over the front or something, I might push it up higher. Doesn't scratch your paint, but
Yeah.
I didn't really see any other purpose for
Yeah, I saw some
off-roading for
pictures
those.
of the the kind of decked out option with with the Ford brand accessories, and they had they had brush lines on it. Kind of go up into this little bracket at the top. I guess
Yeah.
pops out. So kind of your classic safari kind of
So talking about
overland setup.
like what you just mentioned about bringing forward from the Gen 1, what are they doing? What are they bringing forward from other models? Do you know, Stuart?
I don't. I think just mostly the styling.
Just this like the
Yeah,
way the
'cause
body looks.
everybody loves that, and the
But you know how like Jeep always like keeps like the same grill shape for like the Wrangler?
I think they'll keep the round headlights and some sort of grill like what they've got. Because it's my understanding, and my brother-in-law works for a Ford dealer, that this is like a sub-brand for Ford now.
That's what I'm
Kind of like the Ram trucks for Dodge.
Yeah, it's a whole series of vehicles now.
Yeah, so now it's just going to be like its own sub-brand. And supposedly they're going to do the same thing with the Mustang. They're going to spin it off into a sub-brand. I don't really understand the point, but anyways, there's going to be a bunch of different Bronco models over time. And I think they'll keep that because if you look at the Bronco Sport, which is more of the Toyota 4Runner style Bronco, I guess you'd say, you know, for people like the backpack or fish or mountain bike, you know, they don't really want off-roader type model. But they still...
That is a big display.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think that, you know, that's one of the models they have. And
Those doors were pretty sick that you're showing.
Yeah, I was
me.
just
those
going to
trail
ask
doors.
you, what's that?
Those are
That's
cool.
their version of like a half door almost?
yeah, so it's a trail door, so it's open in the middle.
It has a cutout in the center of the door panel rather than just having a half door.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, this is going to be one of the Ford factory options of accessory packs that you can get. And, you know,
Yes.
again, a lot of rumors going on out there. Read some forum or something that there'll be a series of different packages, or you can buy these things individually as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's cables that go
Yeah.
from those front fender things you were just talking about
Yeah.
up to the roof. So
Yeah, some brush lines. So back in the day of, you know,
The Range Rovers that have those.
yeah, a
When
lot of
they're going through the jungle
a lot
or
of
something. it keeps
cruisers,
the
a lot of Range
branch
Rovers.
Off your windshield?
Yeah,
or
it
off
keeps
your
them from-
hood?
hood and all that.
Yeah.
I think it just makes them kind of slide up to the top easier than if they hit your windshield and get caught.
And it's funny they're doing this because these are kind of making a comeback, and you know, especially since like the overlanding craze has become, you know,
Big, yeah.
out of control. Essentially, people are kind of going back to these old school ways of doing things. And you know, I know back in the day, these guys were using fairly stock vehicles, but you know, it's pretty hard to get a windshield replaced in the middle of nowhere. So if you have some huge branch come through it,
Right.
you pretty much got to kick that windshield out. So I know that was initially what a lot of these were designed to do, is just keep stuff off that windshield and whatnot. But it's kind of cool they're throwing it in there. I don't know how many people are really going to be beating on these things that hard
I was
initially,
wondering
you
that
know.
too. Is it really going to be like a jungle safari,
I don't know.
super crazy?
I think people will do it.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Maybe not the first
Right
week
away.
they own it.
Do you think that there will be Bronco overlanding sensation? Or
Oh yeah,
yeah. You think,
I think so.
Yeah,
Especially the 4-door.
yeah. That's what I was.
I mean,
thinking
because I'm
too.
looking at that picture of the 2-door now and going, man, that is kind of short.
No,
see what
I
else is
think
in
you
this
made the
picture,
right
though?
choice.
What's really interesting is that
Those
this
beadlocks.
picture is a set of Method race wheels, so it's pretty neat to see.
I wonder if Method's going to make the wheels for Ford because they
That's
offer
one
a
thing.
factory beadlock.
Yeah,
It's a good looking wheel.
you know, the wheel on the Sasquatch package, which is the one we're checking out now. And for all those that are just listening to the podcast, we're looking at pictures on the internet, so we're not just, you know, visualizing.
It's
this.
Ford.com.
Ford.com.
Discover the
better check it
Bronco.
out. But yeah, you know, if it's a factory option to get Methods, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually,
Those trail
saw-
doors are badass.
They
Yeah.
are cool.
I'm going to have to make a set of those for the
So it said they're coming with 35-inch tires. Like,
The old one.
do we know what brand?
I believe it's actually Goodyear.
It is Goodyear.
Yeah.
And they
It's
made them
something
change the name.
different.
I read that they don't call them a Wrangler
Oh, what?
because they didn't want the Jeep Wrangler name on there.
So what are they
And I never even
called?
thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have to take them off of my Gen 1 Bronco because I can't have Wrangler tires.
No way. You will get your ass.
You know, I'm
kicked.
seeing it's right here. It's saying
You got to pick a side.
it's a 35 on a 17, which is part of the Sasquatch package, and it's a BSW mud terrain. I do know that it is a Goodyear. I've seen the sidewalls and whatnot, but yeah, kind of odd.
I think
It looks
it's
like a different.
I think it's the
sidewall
Wrangler
pattern.
tire rebranded.
Gotcha, which is a pretty solid tire. Oh, it totally is. Yeah, look at that.
Okay, now we're going to chat about
Kids.
the Badlands for those who crave the extreme in their off-roading. So it's the high-performance off-road stability suspension system, the Bilstein position-sensitive monotube shocks, 33-inch all-terrain or available 33-inch to 35-inch mud tires, marine-grade vinyl interior as well, and the rock rails. And this logo, because Garrett wants me to comment now on all the logos. It looks like it's a split between two mountains.
It actually looks like the Badlands out in Utah, the Canyonlands out there.
Okay.
I think that's kind of what that's supposed to mimic.
From far away, I thought it was like a ram's head.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah,
had to do with like hunting or something.
me too. So it looks like they're just continuing to go with this outdoor off-roading
Yeah.
style.
And the
Where's
standard.
the Soccer Mom edition?
We
Stuart
passed
said
it.
that's the sport one.
Oh, okay.
He said the
No, that
sport
was
is for the moms.
That was the Outer Banks. I thought we said.
You just told me that when I
one
asked
with
you,
the
are you
wave.
getting the regular sport? You said
Oh,
sports
yeah, yeah,
for
that-
moms.
No, I said that's more your outdoorsy people that like to backpack and mountain bike and fish.
If you want like a high clearance
Yeah,
Subaru.
so they want to get to the backcountry, but it's not necessarily about the drive. It's more about getting there to do what they want to do. If you get one of these other ones, the full-size Bronco, they call it, then for me, it's more about the experience of the off-roading part of it. You know, the drive, which is what I like.
Yeah, because the Sport is a whole different vehicle in its own.
So the Badlands comes with standard powertrain, the available powertrain. The standard package does have the rubberized flooring with the drain plugs, available leather trim seats, has everything else that the Outer Banks has, and this one has the available options of the Sasquatch, the Mid, the High, or the Lux package.
So it says on the standard package it has auxiliary switches and overhead console. Are those just auxiliary like switches so you can like add lights later on?
Yeah,
or?
the upfitter switches.
Yeah.
They put them like a lot of the Ford trucks have upfitter switches. Mine didn't come with any certain packages or an option, but anyways, they have the upfitter switches, and then I believe that the relays and the fuses are all pre-wired, so you can just go in and add your accessories, and it's already pre-wired to that switch.
You run a wire, from your winch or whatever, and just plug it right in. Pretty nice.
And they're located up. I saw it in one of the pictures of the interior, but so the other thing that was cool that I didn't see in any of the literature of them talking about it, but they have like it's like they call it a dash bar, and it's on top of the dashboard. It's a bar, and it's made so you can attach like GPS, GoPros, a phone mount or anything. It's like this little flat bar that bolts to the top of the dashboard, and right in the center between the passenger and driver. And then there's actually a USB port up there, so you can plug whatever you've got into it. There's a USB port up at the base of the windshield.
That's nice. So
I thought that was pretty cool of Ford to think that one through.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people mount stuff up there.
Totally, yeah.
And so there's the switches, turn off your traction control and
front rear locker.
That's on the dash.
That's on the top of the dash above so all the switches for that.
Right above your touch screen and all.
Right above your touch screen on the top. And then if you see just above that in the picture, there's a little thing that says accessory
ready.
Yeah. And then just at the top of the photo, it's kind of cut off, but you can see that little round thing. That's a USB port. So it has a little rubber plug. You pop that and you can plug your accessory in. So that little bar goes across that area just between the defrost and then those switches for turning off your traction control and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's the little details.
Oh, yeah.
So the Badlands comes with its own unique heavy-duty suspension that includes a front stabilizer bar to disconnect.
I wonder if that's going to be like the remote disconnect how the Rubicons come with nowadays, or if it's going to be a manual disconnect.
No, it's I want to say it was hydraulic or something. I read something about it. Yeah, that it wasn't even electronic.
Wow, well that's cool because I know a lot of people who threw the money down for the Rubicon were very disappointed that they had issues with electronic disconnects.
Yeah.
So it looks like the front axle changes a little bit here.
Yeah, two different options on the lower ends.
The 210 Dana Adventec. That's an option in all the other ones, but this one it just comes with the M210 Dana. So I guess that's a bigger.
Yeah.
Looks
like the
gears
M190.
or bigger axle shafts maybe.
I'm assuming it's got to be a different ring gear machine. The M190 Dana is the standard option, I guess.
On all the Outer Banks and below.
Yeah.
But the Badlands and up, it just comes with that 210.
So Zach, going back to what you were asking about the disconnect too, I forgot I read something else that it was automatic. So if you're off camber and the sway bar is kind of holding you up, and they showed it in that 11-minute video.
I remember
saw that.
It was saying it
and then it disconnects, and then you see it flex out.
And then it says
that's scary.
that once you get back on the road, it
don't.
reconnects on its own.
Yeah, and then it reconnects.
It disconnects and it reconnects.
Yeah.
I did see that. That was pretty cool.
But I'm hoping there's like a you can disengage that or bypass
You
that.
don't want it.
Because you're right, that would be, sometimes if you forget you had it on and all of a sudden it releases.
Yeah. I was thinking the same kind of thing with the half doors. I'm like, someone's going to lose their freaking leg.
Sticking it out that
Sticking
hole.
it out, rock crawling with that, yeah.
It doesn't seem that big. And it's kind of at your thigh, so how would you get your leg out?
I don't know. Yeah, I've heard horror stories of people just like resting their foot out on like the roll cage with the doors off and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
I had a friend do that. just after the slabs, you know, on the Rubicon, when you go down, you're coming off the slabs and you go up that little steep spot up that, and you got to kind of turn left. Well, first time there, I was trying to hug the rock to the right.
I know exactly.
And I started to roll, and my friend stuck his foot out the door, and he's got on like Tevas. And I'm like, dude, you're not going to stop this thing from rolling, first of all, and you're going to lose a toe. And next time, don't wear Tevas.
I was just going to say, you let people wear Tevas in
I
your
didn't.
Bronco?
He brought granola bars, too.
So after that, it's the Wild Track, styled and made for high-speed
Finally,
off-roading.
get to the Wild Track.
So it seems like they're really gearing this one towards high speed. Maybe this is the one that you can do all of the things.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But then I'm reading some of the stuff on the Badlands, and so on this one spec sheet, they show the Wild Track just underneath the first edition. Then on this other spec sheet here, the Bronco Equipment Series spec sheet, it shows the Badlands just underneath the first edition. And if you look at the Badlands logo, it is identical to the first edition logo with the exception of the words first edition and Badlands.
So now you're stressed out. You might
So
not
now I'm
have the
stressed out. I got the
ultimate
wrong
best.
one.
I wouldn't worry about it.
And look, I just got to have it all.
You're still number
I've
one in
waited
our
too
book.
long.
You're going to have a great time, Stuart.
Yeah.
The Wild Track logo definitely is a little racier. It's got like some stripes.
Already hating on my Wild Track.
No, I'm saying like it's different. It's just different. It's a little 80s, 90s. I
All
gotta
right,
say.
we need to end this podcast. I need to get on the internet.
Gives me some Saved by the Bell
I call my
vibes.
dealer to switch my package.
So this one is 2.7 liter twin turbocharged V6 engine, 10-speed automatic transmission, black painted hard top, and the Sasquatch package with the 35-inch tires.
So it doesn't come with. I think the Badlands was the only one that came with this stabilizer bar disconnect. The other ones just have a dash next to that. Like it doesn't have that.
Yeah, but isn't it? Wasn't it optional? It better be.
They're calling this one the all-out desert runner, and I definitely get that vibe.
Yeah,
Stuart the rock crawler got a desert Bronco.
I gotta have one of each.
Look, it was
think
only
Stuart's
$100.
just-
We
I'll be
know you
sitting here
got
thinking,
another
like, what the hell did I
$100.
order?
I'll take my pair of Broncos to King of the Hammers, and I'll switch cars when I get to the rocks.
Oh, and this one, I think the Wild Track and First Edition just comes standard with the 2.7 EcoBoost. It looks like so you
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Ooh, the Wild Track has carpeted flooring and cloth heated
See,
front row
that's where you
bucket
fucked up.
seats.
That's for when I go to the mall.
You can optionally get leather
When I go
trim
to the
seats.
Galleria, I need my carpet.
You can get leather trim seats. Do you have leather seats in your first gen?
No,
It's just cloth.
I actually switched. I had leather seats originally. I put them in, and then switched
Why?
to a cloth.
Getting
The
stuck
leather
with
sucks.
that.
Oh.
It's so sticky, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm driving it in the summertime without air conditioning. It's hot.
But you realize that if it's not leather sticking, then it's just your sweat being absorbed by the fabric seats.
I went to the Mastercraft suspension seats, and they are more comfortable,
Good.
and it's just nice to have the cloth breathes. You know,
Very
and
good.
they use that really thick, durable material too. So
So no one's wearing a leather face mask for the pandemic? It's not breathable?
Probably not for COVID.
look like
Probably
Hannibal
sucks.
Lecter with that thing on. You could put, jeez, leather face.
You know, one interesting thing on here I see is advanced 4x4 with on-demand engagement. I don't quite know what they mean by advanced.
Where are you looking?
Four-wheel drive under the Wild Track factory options, but probably make your wheel better, sir. So can't go wrong.
I could use all the help I can get. You've seen all the dents in my Bronco, Zack.
So what are you most excited about your desert racing Wild Track? Did it
I'm
only
just
appeal
excited
to
to
you
get
because it was under the first edition, so you just thought it would be
Right,
the
I
next
thought
best
it
one?
was the next one down.
But you didn't actually
I didn't have
compare.
time to look. I was on the
So-
internet. I was frantic.
So
I
they
couldn't
didn't. They
get what
didn't,
I
really,
We're
wanted.
they didn't release
educating
any
people.
options before they. They just released everything at once, and you had to decide right then and there.
You had to decide right then and there.
It was a
put your,
race.
yeah. And it was like,
Yeah.
I was just trying to get that first edition because I knew it had everything
Yeah.
because they said that. So I was on iPad. I was on my laptop. My wife was on her phone. I had my daughter on her phone. She's the one that actually got through.
It would have been nice if they released this like 24, 48 hours ahead of time. You could really do your research, pick the one you want, and then that's what Rugged Radios did with those pink radios that I wanted. they marketed them, and then I called them and was like, could I get one on the side? And they were like, nope, you have to go online. So I went online and I got one. So I have a pink rugged radio.
Go to the back of the line, Mallory.
Yeah, I know that anxiety though.
Back of the line with you.
Get back in line,
it's
lady.
That
Not letting you in the club.
Yeah, it's that feeling though of like, am I gonna get it? So I mean, they should have released the information beforehand. It would have been helpful for you to make the best decision. Now
I think you made a good call,
racer.
though, man. It looks like it comes with, factory-mounted skid plates. So they're calling bash plates.
Which one?
The Wild Track, the one you bought.
Oh, yeah.
And, option of the HD steel bumper, the modular bumper. You got the bigger front diff.
Yeah, plastic bumpers. Man.
It is kind of weird that they
we'll make you a bumper.
It is kind of weird that they upgraded some things on the Badlands and then went back down on the Wild Track. Like that, for instance. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it looks like it comes factory with the Sasquatch package. It's pretty cool with the lockers and all that, so that's a good call.
I don't remember if you guys already mentioned this too, but the transfer case options, there's 2 of them.
Oh, maybe that's what the advanced four-wheel drive is. I have heard rumors that there's like a automatic four-wheel drive that's an option. It'll just kind of engage as it's needed.
My truck has that. I think it might just be like a switch, I think. Or no, I think that was my old vehicle. Maybe not.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some of the higher trim F-150s come with it, along with, I think, the Super Duties, the newest generation of Super Duty.
So it says this one, the standard 4x4 transfer case is 2.72 to 1, and then the optional advanced 4x4 is 3.06 to 1.
So I wonder what wheels, look at the wheels for the Wild Track.
17-inch beadlock capable.
Yeah, I know, but it says beadlock capable. So what wheel does it actually come with? Because
They
if you
all
look at the
say
other ones, it
beadlock
says
capable.
standard or available. So standard on the base is painted steel, and
Yeah.
the Big Bend gets either painted aluminum, painted steel, machine aluminum. And you get all the way across the Wild Track, and the first edition, it says beadlock capable.
Do you think this is all really set in stone, or do you think when Ford calls you to come in and customize your Barbie Bronco that they'll let you make modifications that aren't, on this? You think they'll let you make changes?
Let's get something straight. You're the one that got the pink rugged radio. Okay.
My Barbie Bronco.
For your Barbie Bronco. I'm doing the orange Bronco.
I just wonder how serious the dealers are going to have to take this, or if things are going to kind of fluctuate by then, because we're talking almost a year from now.
What's funny is when I kept calling my brother-in-law and he was talking to the owner of his dealership to find stuff out, they didn't
I was going to
know
say they
anything.
didn't know anything about it.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that.
And so now, then when you go and put your $100 deposit down, you got to pick a dealer.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and so that was one of the things. I kept changing my zip code to pick different dealers from around this area because I thought maybe that was the problem I couldn't get through. So anyways, the dealers already sent a text to us for the Bronco, like to call them, and then they're basically going to have you come in and then you build it.
That's fun.
Yeah. So will things change? I don't know if they'll change or not, but
Yeah.
From these spec sheets, I think it looks pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But
Set in desert racing.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking at that Badlands. I might have to change.
It is a good one. So after that, we have the first edition. The man, the myth, the legend, the one we'll never get.
It's got a lot of junk going on, man. It seems like everything you can pick is in there. It's got the Lux package. It's got the leather.
It's got it all.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of stuff.
Do you have FOMO? Fear of missing out?
I do. This is bothering me here.
I'm sorry.
I don't even want to talk about that
There's
one.
probably a prescription I can get you for FOMO.
It's also got a safari bar. You don't know what that is.
I was just going to say, could
is there
somebody
any
explain
tissues
that?
in here?
Unique hood and body side graphics, the Sasquatch package with the 35-inch tires, the leather trim seats. I am tired of saying Sasquatch. It's hard for me to pronounce.
Just say Bigfoot.
Bigfoot package.
They're two different people.
Garrett, can you look up the safari bar on this website, please? And we can look more into.
I think Zach's got it.
Oh, Zach, do you have the mouse? The Mises? Can you look up the safari bar? Carpeted flooring, so they're going back down. Unique interior. That's all they're going to say. Unique. You can just let your imagination take that one wild.
They had leaked a picture of it, so they put the first edition logo on the seats.
Oh, that's cool on the head.
And
on
I think
the head
they've
or the
got
back?
special on the back of the, and I think it's even on the back of the back seats.
That's cool.
But I think they might have special colors for just that interior.
Depending on your paint color, they'll match it or something.
or something. It'll just be different so that none of the other Broncos have that same leather color.
Yeah, it has the leather trim seats with the heated front row, 10-way power driver's seat. I haven't seen any of those come with that. 10-way power seat.
This is painful to talk about.
Up,
I
down.
didn't get one.
Mine, it might even hug your butt better.
Here we go. Here's wheelbase too. Looks like they're all 100 inches, 100.4, and then the 4-door is 116.1, which is cool.
So overall,
Yeah.
it's pretty short. You know,
I think the 4-door is the way I would get.
Now you're really hurting Stuart's feelings.
Just
Wow.
that
This is
wheelbase
rough.
is
Thought I was a guest on this shit.
cool.
He just
I
hurt me.
personally like the 2-door. I don't know, when they show the 4-door with the doors off, I like it, but when the doors are on, it looks like a bus. It's just long and
I like the 4-doors.
So the 2-door. So you said it's 100 inches. So my Gen 1 is 94 and a half factory.
Yeah, my Toyota was like 110. I really like that width or that length.
But
Is
with
the
my rough
Safari
stuff,
bar that
leaf
on the
spring
top?
perches with the multiple holes, I moved it back an inch, so I'm actually 95.
Yeah.
ooh, you rebel.
so the Safari bar is like
It's
that.
a stinger.
It's yeah.
Yeah. So that's
it is a stinger. It's a flat topped stinger.
yeah.
What shape do you call that?
That's
a
more
half
of a bull. They call it a bull bar, not a stinger. A stinger leans forward so that if you come
Zack
down.
said it. Don't look at me.
Oh,
Come on, Mallory.
I
sorry,
think
Zach. I thought I was going after her.
it's a half octagon bar up sideways, in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look it
Yeah.
up.
All right. I was hoping Safari Bar would be
Well, an
something a little bit
octagon
more
is
exciting.
5-sided, and that would be 6-sided if that was half.
Is it a pentagon? Just kidding. I know.
Wow, starting at $59,000.
Yeah, Stuart's rich.
Octagon is 8, pentagon is 5.
Yeah, I wanted to go through the colors. What I saw that kind of like powdery
Colorizer.
blue.
Yes, I believe. Oh, actually, I don't know.
Oh, there we go. So cyber orange. That's
So,
Area,
Area
51.
51.
I actually really like that color. It's like a
Yeah, I remember that.
slate blue gray.
You got another blue over here. Antimatter blue.
Antimatter.
So
It's
that's like a metallic blue.
really
yeah,
going
metallic
for it.
kind of navy. That's nice.
And we got the classic shadow black.
Ooh, that looks
Oh,
good.
yeah,
Looks super
that looks
good.
See, that'll be your law enforcement one.
Got iconic
Elio.
silver, which has been
On the
a
Rubicon.
Ooh, that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
popular
Yeah.
Ford color for what, about
Eldorado
20
County
years.
has to get rid of that Wrangler now. They need a Bronco. Sheriff's Department. If you're listening, get a Bronco.
Call George. And we got, okay, so yeah, it's Area 51. Rapid Red.
Ooh, that's bright.
I'm not into that.
No, it's a little too.
Looks like a
it's like
satin turtleneck or
It's
something.
almost cranberry. It's
The
so
other
red.
red they had. Oh, the bright
Yeah.
red
Yeah,
looked
they have a
cool.
bright
So this should be the race red. Yeah, it looks
I
pretty
think
cool.
that
That's
looked better.
nice. Yeah.
I saw a different one on the website a second ago. It
Looks really
looked
good from the front.
I'm not a red guy, but I can get down on that. And
Carbonized
carbonized gray.
gray.
That's pretty
Oh,
slick.
that's got some
Almost
green
looks
in
green,
it.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I get down on that. I like gray vehicles. And this cactus gray is
This
pretty
is
sweet.
the one that I thought was blue. I thought this was powder
Yeah.
blue.
So they've been showing a lot of different, kind of prototypes and even the computer renderings in the cactus gray. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So
I think that cactus gray is because they have F-150s in that gray.
yeah, or they call it abyss gray for the
Yeah.
for the
it
I
looks
bet
150.
blue. It kind of reminds me of
Did you see?
a
It does look
powdered
blue on the screen, though.
Yeah.
Did
And then
you
what's that last one we didn't see, Zach? The one before the red.
White.
What are they?
Classic Oxford.
Oxford
I
white.
don't love the white. It's
I'm down for the white. That
You
doesn't
are?
look bad to me.
Especially if it had the black top. Like that shows a
Yeah.
color match top. I think it'd look better with a,
So that's
all
what-
flat black accessory type
yeah.
thing.
That's what I was just going to ask. Some of the colors are showing the tops painted, and some are not. So is that part of the option, or is that part of the color?
It was one of the packages. Like
Yeah.
the Wild Peak comes with a black top.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And
Or wild track. Yeah, you
Wild
got the
Track,
Wild
yeah.
Peak.
Wild
carbonized black,
Black
or whatever.
painted hard top. Okay. And it looks like none of the other ones are talking about it. I think it would be cool if you could build your own. Just take everything you want and put it in your own.
You know,
Probably
honestly, I think this
can.
will probably be a vehicle where you can mix and match.
And I think
you don't
Ford should
want-
call it their Stuart Edition.
I totally agree. Couldn't agree
Yeah,
more.
their Ranger was like that, where you could like pick and choose any model, any item
Yeah.
you want on there. It's pretty
throw
sick.
it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think unlike other Ford options, though, I think the lockers only come in the Sasquatch package.
Okay.
At least from what they've displayed so far. That is a cool thing Ford does. Is like you want a locker, like what, $480. Not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it was relatively. It was like
For spending a couple grand on a higher trim package from a Toyota or something to get a locker.
even aftermarket. It's like they're $400 or $500 or more.
Yeah. On the invoice on my truck, it was, I think, like $480 when it was built into it. You know, not a bad price for an electronic lock and diff.
Not at all. So let's talk 2-door, 4-door.
I want a 2-door personally.
Sporty, shorter wheelbase, has advantages, but so does a longer wheelbase.
Yeah.
Garrett likes the 4-door.
I like the 4-door.
He wants a big family.
Mainly because of the wheelbase. I just feel uncomfortable, like in those little, like just on like climbing up walls.
Like you'll just flop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
and
backwards
so
quicker.
I feel like you can get your front wheels up and over ledges a little bit easier.
What's the obstacle at Moab that everybody always flips over backwards? It's real steep, and anyways,
Like a
longer wheelbase totally helps. CJs, they, unless they're stretched, they always flip. But something like that, yeah, when you're going up a steep obstacle or whatever, it'd be nice to have that longer wheelbase.
Mm-hmm. And you can fit like more junk in the back. You know, you can take out the
Or
back
if you're
seat.
towing, or
towing.
Yeah, you could camp out the back a little easier. You have more space.
oh yeah, if you took the back seats out of the 4-door,
Yeah.
you could sleep back there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, and just store it. You're not as crammed in like the 2-door. So
Well, we've got a split decision. 2 2-door, 2 4-door. We'll fight about it later. So
Or you just get one of each.
you keep saying that.
hers.
Do I need to call Maureen?
Yeah.
Turn off the
Can I
credit
work for
card.
Point
She
West
doesn't
Insurance
listen to
also?
this.
I'm going to tell her to move the bank accounts now. Well, it's only $100 to put down. So I asked you, Garrett, like a week ago, what is Rough Stuff going to create and come out with? Have you guys got anything?
I got some ideas. You know, I think a lot of people are going to be stoked on these modular bumpers. You can just buy it installed, said and done. But a lot of people are not going to want to pay financing APR
Right.
on something like that. You know, it may be say $1,000 option from the factory, but then you're throwing, you know, interest on it and whatnot. If we come out with a badass looking economic set of bumpers, something you either paint yourself or, you know, we powder coat whatever, winch capable, you know, like serious recovery points, not just like some chintzy off the factory. Not saying these are going to be bad, but
Well, maybe different bar options. If it's modular,
Yeah.
we don't know how it's going to attach.
change
but
the wings up.
My guess is it's got probably in 3 sections. You got your wing sections on either side, and you got a center section. So Rough Stuff could make like sections, and then you could have bar options. You could have a stinger option. You could have a bull bar option.
Yeah.
You know, low, high.
I bet you could do some pretty sweet roof racks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Be able to mount all kinds of gear. I do know in some pictures they showed some stuff kind of like that, so I'm sure they'll have a factory option. But again, you know, even myself, I'm not always big on the factory option because you're paying a little bit more, you know, then you got a dealer markup, then you got interest rate,
Right.
and it's like, you know, at the end of the day, monthly payment's nicer when it's lower.
They can finance it through us, through a firm.
Yeah. You got
Somebody's got to
0%
make
financing.
some tube bumpers for it too. So you got to have a tubing roller
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, some of
because
the
they're round.
Some of the concept photos definitely have racks, things like that. But, you know, maybe something to be able to offset the rear tire mount, you know, to be able to fit a 37 or something. I have heard some rumors that some of these will be able to fit a 37
Really?
from the factory.
I'm thinking too, right off that.
It doesn't look like it'll have a lot of up travel, but, you know, it'll
Oh,
fit.
I'm curious to see what those fender like hook things are made out of, because that would be maybe a 6 spot for like a high lift jack.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I saw too is supposed to be pretty neat is that some of the trim models that have the high clearance, so like the Sasquatch package, the fenders come off in seconds, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Instead of, you know, pulling bolts.
Yeah, it's a clip
It
system.
clips in and out. Yeah,
The
so that's
fenders?
pretty cool.
The fender
the
flares.
The
Yep.
flare, yeah.
There was something online that Ford talked about on their website about the fender flares. Basically, for customization, they just unclip.
When
You
I
take 'em
hear
off.
clip, though, I think plastic breaking.
Well, they
personally.
are plastic,
True.
but they're made to come off. Whereas
Yes, if you're not taking them on and off. a
Yeah, you're
bunch.
not unbolting them, and you're
Right.
not taking out what are those little plastic push pins. You know,
Okay.
and then you try to take those off, and if you don't have the right tool, and then even if you do, a lot of times they
shattering 'em.
break, especially if they're older. So apparently they made it easy to take them off, so you could put something on.
Yeah. I don't know. 4-door is pretty sweet,
Yeah.
but the 2-door has that classic appeal, you know.
Yeah, the 4-door looks more like rock crawly to me than the 2-door is more sporty, but I could go with both now, like looking at them closer. I just like the room.
You might
and the
get to
wheel-
ride in
and
mine,
the-
Garrett.
I like the room and the wheelbase. That's like my main factors.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of interior room. You know, you got a kiddo now, so
Yeah, that's true.
Did
gotta
you see
find a
that?
place for her.
So they have like 200. Ford makes like 200 accessories for them, but one of them I thought was cool is, you know how in the back in the cargo area they have so that the old Gen 1s, they had a tailgate that folded down. So you kind of had like a little table when you got where you're going. Mm-hmm. And these tailgates swing open like the Wrangler, but then they make this slide out shelf.
I saw that.
That mounts to the bottom and it slides out. So think about mounting like an ARB on that or something, and you already have this rollout shelf, that you can put it on.
I actually didn't look at the back. Do they come with like a tire carrier or swing out tire carrier or what?
Well, it's built into the door, I believe.
And everyone just comes with it standard? It's the same?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's built into the
it looks like it's built
tailgate
into the
door.
actual tailgate.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, like a little offset bracket, mount 37 or something. You know, people are going to start building cooler suspension aftermarket accessories for these probably pretty quick. Mm-hmm. So that'd be sweet. But, hey, maybe we get into long travel or something one day. Make a sweet replacement rear axle.
Or what about that?
Kind of match up like what you got on your Bronco.
Ford 9 axle.
Take it way back to the old school Bronco.
Well, and even make some some arms. Like the Shannon Campbell arms you have for the... Yeah. Have something for the front, because that's probably the only way you're going to be able to lift it with a fixed center section.
Yeah.
Is to do like longer travel arms like they do on the desert racers, but that's also how you get the ground clearance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like some neat rear suspension. It looks like it has a panhard bar I saw. Looks like if you're to do a diff cover for it, you definitely have to do like a raised or kind of like a bent panhard bar. It seems to be pretty tied up in the diff. Can't remember where I saw that photo. But yeah, with the Dana 44 rear end, it should be pretty solid. I don't know. It's a lot of power for it, but it shouldn't be too bad.
Did we already list the starting prices for all of these, or?
No, do you have them?
I just saw it on the screen, so
I know they start at 28, right?
Yeah, for the two-door base model,
two-door,
and 34 for the 4 base.
I just saw one saying like 50 something. So
yeah, I think
so Wild Track
starts at 48. And then the first edition, which you can't get anymore, is 59. That's starting at.
That hurts.
Too. Yeah.
Well,
this is the one you bought, Stuart, so you better get ready.
48,000.
Yeah.
What's it say for the...
Badlands 42.
See? I'm
Could
not
have
going.
saved
That's lower.
some money.
No, it's down. It's down. I'm staying up
Decision
high.
made, you guys.
50K.
This podcast is changing lives. Changing bank account.
That's why I got the Wild.
I don't know, man.
The Wild Track.
That base model 28.
Because it was more expensive. I figured they had to have something.
I think it's a great price. 28 though is like affordable for.
Well, you wait till November. You probably walk out the door, not out the door, but negotiate down 24, 25.
Yeah, but once you pay
after a year or two of them being out.
Well, after they've been out for a while. I don't think they're going to negotiate at all right now.
No, probably not first year or two. Or fresh model.
Yeah.
But supposedly there's not going to be any dealer markup either.
I've heard that before.
I said supposedly.
Yeah.
They'll mark up accessories and shit.
Oh, probably. Yeah. I was speaking with the ARB rep at SEMA last year, and ARB is going to be working a lot with Ford.
Yeah.
On a lot of Ranger stuff. And have, I don't know if it'll be ARB edition, but they'll have factory option bumpers, things like that, racks, their kind of tray system in the back, all available directly through Ford. So I wouldn't be surprised there'd be some sweet ARB accessories coming through here.
Or just even have those racks like ARB refrigerator ready.
Turnkey, plug it in, rock out.
Those things are awesome.
Yeah.
I use mine all the time.
Yeah, those are hard to beat, man.
So I think we've tried to give everyone their Bronco 2021 education for the day.
Yeah.
Couple other things I really quickly want to talk about was don't worry, Stuart, that can be you if you switch to the Badlands. One thing we want to talk about really quickly is Dan Day. That's coming up in 2 weeks. We are doing a fundraiser for Shriners Hospital.
So let's back it up real quick. So Dan Day is our founder Dan's birthday. So every year we do kind of like a small little party, at the shop.
We used to just get him a cake and he would blow out the candles. No one want to eat it.
Yeah, but now we're
dunk tank.
Yeah. Then we started doing a fundraiser because Dan loves the children. He loves the children. So this is our 3rd year.
Yeah, and this year we're coming back doing Shriners again. Great group of people doing pretty amazing stuff. Changing lives 100%, and in some cases allowing children to have a fulfilled life.
Yeah, we had a fair share of Rough Stuff customers or customers who knew or followers who were Shriners children last year that commented and told us, and that was really amazing to know. It's so close to home, so it's pretty cool. So we're going to be doing $5,000 as our goal, and we will be matching it with $5,000. Once we hit the $5,000, we will shave the 11 hairs left on Dan's head. And Zach's going to do it.
Yeah, we actually got about 20 other guys at the shop getting their hair shaved too, so it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we should shave his beard. But you already said that wasn't
You
pretty.
don't want to see that.
No,
Yeah. No, it's
nobody
not a
wants
good
to see
look.
that.
He's really like, please don't shave my beard. I'm like, we're not going to. It's
Can we
okay.
trim it?
No.
We're just gonna shave the back of his head because that's where all the hair's at.
So you'll see that come out in marketing. I think the guys are releasing it today. It's for Shriners Hospital. Our goal is $5,000. We're going to match it with another $5,000. You can use code Rough Stuff Podcast on our website for 10% off anytime. Please follow us on Instagram. Please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. You can email us podcast@roughstuffspecialties.com with any feedback, any guests you want us to have, any topics you want us to cover. I have a bunch of podcasts lined up. I have 4 more after this, some really good guests. So we're really excited.
And don't forget to ask for me, Stuart,
Yeah, and
come back because,
don't forget that Stuart is our fan favorite.
Yep.
And also, if you're local to the Sacramento area and just in Northern California, you can hit up Stuart at pointwestins.com. So do you guys have any last comments? We know Stuart is going to switch to the Badlands. He's no longer into the wild track.
I don't know.
And he's
It's
going to get a
cheaper.
4-door.
I don't want to come across as cheap.
You
I do. I'm looking for a base model.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm looking for like a
Is there
rolled
a
base
coupon
model.
code on the website we can use? Bronco 2021 for 20%
I'm going to use
off.
Rough Stuff Podcast on Ford's website to get a discount on my
Yeah.
wild track.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe. Again, leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Tell all your friends.
Ask for me again.
Give us
Thank
some
you, Stuart.
give us some
You're
feedback
welcome.
too. If you guys want to hear other topics or hit us up.
Yeah. And thank you, Stuart, for gracing us with your knowledge and your company.
You're welcome.
Now, please take my husband to lunch.
Beach hut.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Bye.